back to Star Trek Online Endurance. I love bringing these guys around because they're so useless. But today we are going to be doing a review, and of course it is pretty much has something to do with ground builds again. But actually, no, it's not. I lied. But we are actually going to do, as it says on the thumbnail, we are going to do some organizing. Yes, something that many people hate to do. Like, even myself included. Like, look at my inventory. Huh? What did you just say? Oh. It's just me and what? Talking garbage? They're pretty efficient at it. But look at my stuff! All this stuff, it's garbage. It's nothing but trash. Nothing's organized. Yeah, I just clicked a button which has something to do with organizing my stuff, and yeah. So much for organizing my things. And I'm sorry, I worked an 8-hour shift. I'm tired. And that was a grenade on the left side of my ear. And some fireworks on the left side of... oh. But, yes, organizing. So, let's get to it, shall we? So, apparently what I have is a Tetrion crew, which, of course, you guys can see the Tetrion split rifle, Tetrion, blah, 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 blah. So, in this case, it's pretty much about setting your crew to when it comes to different types of damage, I believe, because this is just my Tetrion crew that I brought because... yeah, I heard it's very bad. Anyways, so, as for this kind of stuff, I actually brought a Tetrion crew out, and of course, I pretty much just reached my maximum amount of officers, which, what the hell is that? That is so loud! Anyways, I have just reached my, maximum capacity, which I really thought it was endless amount of bridge officers. So I pretty much, yes, I googled it up, and I use Google. So I googled it up, and turns out that there are only 54 you can reach. So pretty much I was like, oh, I guess this is pretty much the end. And it was, because I was just like, oh, okay, I guess that sucks. And also, another thing I wanted to make sure to tell you guys about is the uniforms. I love the Confederation, I really do, but I have found a alternative variant for it. Bam. Check it. That's a lie. Hold on. Let me go to my main crew. I'm sorry. I normally would call it my theater crew because, you know, they've been in a lot of the story missions and stuff like that. Bam. Not sure if this is biblically accurate, because of, you know, she's in a seductive like look, but I'm pretty much sure it's more Confederation-like as it should be, like with the gloves and the Odyssey uniforms, stuff like that. It kind of fits the 2411 kind of Confederation, as it still survives the Iconian War till this day. All the while, blah blah blah. So, also, I wanted to mention about the uniforms, and also, before we even begin about the review, or not even a review actually, about more like a teaching lesson, I just wanted to let you guys know that a new event is coming out, which is, well, actually, this event has just, you know, started, and I bought it out. It's the First Contact Day event, which you'll be doing the synth. You can do the synth wave. You can do Night in Bozeman, which is like a patrol where you have to go back in time, make sure that the Enterprise ensures first contact, and you have to build a rocket. That's pretty fun because, you know, I always love competition. And there's a new event coming soon, which is the Voth I can't read, which is pretty much a Voth event, which I'm also going to buy out because, of course, I need that meter to fill to pretty much get my tier 6, to get my premium ship that I want. So, and also if you guys also see in the Reclaim tab that, you know, there's supposed to be a Voth exosuit in that event as a reward, and now it's pretty much in your Reclaim, your account Reclaim stuff, which is pretty weird. I tried like so hard to press it, and so far it has not done. I wanted it so bad. I really did. But I'm pretty much sure that is all the news. I just wanted to get that out the way before we even start the review. So let's get back to it, huh? So I brought a Tetrion crew because I wanted to, and I really did wanted to, and I wanted to, right? So I'm pretty much sure most of y'all have pretty much set it out. I'm pretty much sure most of y'all would have your crews where pretty much having all different kinds of weapons and all different kinds of knick-knack. I pretty much would stick to just one weapon type, no matter what it could be. So, of course, as for specialization, you won't have to. I have to say that you don't have to care. You don't have to care about the specialization on your bridge officers until you reach a certain point. In fact, you won't even have to be worrying about that at all, because even so, even without that, you can still even work without the bridge officer layout. Because, you see, I have them all tactical, but I normally have target optic and battle strategies, which is a tactical thing to have. Because, of course, to my bridge officers, they get some damage for 15 seconds and crit chance, crit severity, perception. I always give them some target optics, battle strategies, which removes all the debuffs on them and stuff like that. I didn't have it on Thrud because she's a temporal, and most of her damage comes from the entropy, which she can use reversion of affliction, which is basically the ground version of recursive shearing. So. And I pretty much have an intel. I have an intel officer to pretty much ignite chaos all around. Pretty much like make enemies shoot each other, kind of thing. It's kind of crazy, but it's good. And I normally have like a command officer, which I call them my flag officers. Because I'm an emperor, I don't do much. Because that's why I only have like melee weapons for close combat. And I have the dual nanopulse blades in case it's like a big boss, and even when the big boss is kind of like, you know, it's pretty easy to beat them because, you know, lobby items, yeah. But normally the command officers will be supporting the entire team, so I have her as a flag officer, which is supposed to be a team-wide buff for all my bridge officers, and Graf Spee, she is specifically for damage output. So, of course, this is just for some allies and shield regeneration. There's not much of miracle working abilities I can give, but I know Visor, something like that, Visor Overlay. It's basically the same. It's basically like the ground version of one of those miracle worker damage types for miracle worker ships. I own one, but I'm not a big fan of them. Like the Lexington, for example. Lexington's a good ship, though I just chose not to get it. I mean, I have it, it's just I chose not to use it. If you get what I'm saying. I own the Vodwar Miracle Worker Juggernaut, but I don't really choose to use that. I mean, it used to be my flagship for a time, but nah, after that was just about it. But, of course, most of them are tactical. She's tactical, she's tactical, she's tactical, she's tactical. Well, actually, no, all of them are tactical on my main away team. So, to be honest with that point that I'm trying to put out is that you can actually make a very powerful tactical team. And if it's an engineering team, you can make a very powerful shield barrier. And with science team, you can make a whole debuff barrier. There's a lot to do. There's a lot you can do without specializations. There's a lot you can do with specializations. It pretty much does not matter. So, damage types wise, normally the reason why, and the only reason why I would have them is because of my Endeavors. I'm lazy, I don't want to do it, and I'm tired of doing it, and I just want to sit down and, well, I'm not really on my phone much, but I normally go on my phone for like YouTube, learning some stuff, schematics, blah, blah, blah. So, not most of them have reached the elite stuff because that costs money. That costs like $5 a pop. So, that kind of shit. So, with all that added up together, I pretty much would, of course, pretty much would just ignore this. I would ignore it, pretend like it's not even there. Because there's no way you're going to have $5 a pop for 54 bridge officers, or God knows how many you probably have. Maybe more if you're a veteran. If you're a veteran. But my point of all of this is that you could probably have more, and that could be pretty much stifling, especially to your bank account, because unlike that's kind of a waste of money for someone who does not go on the ground that much, just to do a couple dailies and that's about it. I mean, unless you're really into the ground like I am, and you would pretty much be on that, but because I have a set for myself, that's why I don't have that. So only my bridge officers or my main crew would pretty much have the elite tokens. That's the only time I would spend it on them. So for Tetrion, I would go with the Tetrion split beam rifle. It has some negative damage on the shields and stuff like that. Some 4% crit chance, blah, and all the wild and stuff like that. Some radiation damage over time, all the goody stuff. So what would interest me is the ground, the armor, and the shields. Now, many of y'all would probably already know about the Imperial Assault Armor. Some of them would probably Kumarke's Visionary Ground set, which I do not have equipped on my main anymore. Yeah, bye-bye Electric Powers, because, you know, the Birdcage kind of screwed me over and nearly almost annihilated me. So, pretty much it's a good set. These two are good sets, but as for your main bridge officer crew, I'd recommend the Imperial Assault Armor, because I believe with the second set, I believe it can these actually have Marcelian Drift Roll fabrications, and it's a drift instead of rift. Oof, I am bad at English, but of course it activates a Mycelium Rift drone, which it will create a drone, put some stuff, it will pretty much clump up all the enemies together and you could just fire away. So that's pretty cool. Of course it's 47-second recharge, so the two piece is the Cunning Time Hack, slows the enemies down, that's about it. And I pretty much would have them for all of them, but because I have a crazy amount of rep gear, and I have a lot of assault armor and stuff like that, but I have a crazy amount of rep gear, so I just slap just slap whatever you can if you have some rep gear, left over and stuff like that. And if you have somebody with like a kit frame, just put on whatever kit frame you want to. I'm pretty much sure it won't matter. In my case, it won't really matter, but overall, that's pretty much it when it comes to like kit frames and stuff like that. So I'll be honest, so if you're gonna do some Endivores and you're pretty much lazy like me, then I would actually go ahead and you could actually do stuff like this. Of course, you can also equip yourself with a Tetrion to you know, not feel like your bridge officers are like, why is this man not doing anything? But because I am an emperor, that is my hell of a reason. That's the reason why I do it. That's pretty much the reason why oh no! Someone's got a phaser. Oh. Ah, go away. But yeah. It's pretty good, and most likely it's my most one-on-one to like being lazy. I might even make like a lazy playlist, because there's a tons of things I have when it comes to being the most laziest person in the universe. Well, aside for if you're actually bored and you want to actually get something done, stuff like that. But I mean, if you're not really a lazy person, then you can always grab a rifle and stuff to join the fight, pretty much. There we go. There we go. But, of course, before we even go, I actually want to go, further into these events, because I believe that might be about it, as far as laziness is concerned. But of course, I always have one for each damage type, so of course, this is pretty much an additional Techion. Techion, it's all the same. I have one for Disruptor, I have one for Physical, I have one for Plasma, I have one for Phaser. Well, that's a special. She's special. But I always have one for each damage type, because you never know which one you're pretty much gonna get. It all depends. It's pretty much mixed endeavors and stuff like that. And of course, the most rare of them all is the physical. The physical damage, which in and itself, that's something that I'm known for doing, but because once again I am pretty much a lazy small shithead, I normally actually have a crew specifically for physical damage, and I have been searching for a while for, like, you know, any weapons that do physical damage, if you know what I'm saying. I'm sorry, I am yawning. It's been a weird week. Something Captain Shaw would say. But, I mean, it has been a weird week, because, you know, work, come home, sleep, work, come home, sleep. It's pretty annoying if you think about it. You just wish it changed. But, no, I'm not going to work today. Nope, I am not. And that's the wrong spot. Anyways, so I think that might even conclude for today, because really, and also, when it comes to having two people, I really do recommend that you pretty much would go with a split beam crew. And also, I'm sorry. And also, as for Zen Store stuff, let me go right here. For Zen Store stuff, these are also new things from the Confederation Lockbox that I forgot to show you guys, which is a pretty cool thing, because it's like, it's a pretty cool thing to have. It's Bolt Burst, Secondary Chamber Blast, and there's all that, and also Confederation Combat, which I totally want, and they better give it to me, or else someone's gonna have a fit going to their door. That'll be me. But yeah, ground gear. So I really recommend you guys. I really recommend the Phaser split beam rifle, because it's pretty much a good phaser weapon. Of course, the multi-barrel pretty much would. I can't say it could top it, pretty much, because the secondary fire mode, like how the AI works when it comes to your bridge officers, it normally uses always a secondary firing mode, like regardless. So, but of course, the Phaser split beam rifle, it can use the primary and the secondary firing mode. So, of course, nerdy all to that. It normally just uses the secondary fire mode first, which is the auto targeting beam and stuff like that. If you get in my drift, the primary attack, which is the phaser beam setting, it's nah. So we're going to try it real quick. Give a little perfect example. Attack these guys. I guess I didn't get to assimilate some of them. Oh. Okay. How about these guys? Oh, somebody get unlucky. Oh. Winor? Hold on. Winor? I've never seen that before. Unless I can find somebody named Winor. See, it normally uses its secondary firing attack before its primary. But, anyways, I believe that, concludes the stream, nonetheless. And, of course, I pretty much might, next week I might do a review on the Hydra. The ship itself. Actually, I might not even do that. I might actually do a review on the Hydra console and the trait it's on its own, because in itself it is a very, very powerful console, and it's a very, very wanty console for those carrier players such as myself. So it's a niche way of actually saying that this console is pretty it's a pretty damn good console. And actually, I have made several instant kills with it in advanced TFOs, and no, that's not something I normally do every day. Just like World of Warship kills when I was playing with Assam, I felt like I was not myself, if you will. I feel like I wasn't myself making all those kills with the edit. I think it was the Leandro that I was playing with him. All those kills, I'm like, dude, something is wrong with me. So just like this console, I felt like something was wrong with me, but no, at the same time. That's a no, because there's no way. So I believe that concludes the review. If you guys want to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell icon. Yes, I normally do it at the very end because, you know, it's YouTube, and that's how it is, pretty much. So I believe that is it for the review. I'm Luis, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.